Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Dirt Bike Channel. I'm your host Kyle Brotherson, and I've got some big news for you. We've got some more fuel-injected two-strokes coming your way. Husqvarna just dropped another bombshell today on April 4th. 2017. They said that they're announcing 2 new dirt bikes for the 2018 model year that are going to be fuel-injected two-strokes. They've told us that they're going to introduce a TE250i, that's like the TE250s, the enduro bike, and the TE300i. And as far as I can tell, I mean, there's very, very limited information out there. It seems like these things might even be coming to the US. Now, don't quote me on that because we have very limited information. There's just a little bit of a blurb about this on Husqvarna's site. In fact, that they say that they're gonna go into production in June of this year. You can be the judge of what that means. I'm with KTM, I know that they had said earlier, and KTM and Husqvarna are owned, you know, KTM owns Husqvarna. And they're assembled in the same factory. KTM did say that they would have a 250 version and a 300 version for Europe, because what they're trying to do is meet the Euro 4 emission standards. These are some stringent emission standards that are coming into effect for dirt bikes, especially street legal dirt bikes in Europe. Basically what's going on is they have these emission standards, the Euro 3 standards, which are the ones that the two-strokes meet. All of the four-strokes meet the Euro 4 emission standard. And so in order to be able to continue to sell those bikes in those markets, they're needing to have better emissions on there, so that's why they're putting electronic fuel injection. KTM called it a transfer port injection, a TPI, but on these Husqvarnas, they're just calling it a TE250i and a TE300i. And I'm guessing that's to denote the injection part of this. So it's pretty exciting news. Whether or not we're going to get the 250 and the 300 here in the US, again, remains to be seen. But I do think it's a really, really interesting development, because with the KTMs, we know that on the model year 2018, as far as the bikes that we're going to see here in the US, it was just the 250 XCW TPI, and they said that they would be in very limited quantities later this fall. That was one of the marketing directors, Joachim Sauer. I mentioned that on a previous video. So there's limited information about what's going on with this Husqvarna, but I do think that it's going to be pretty cool because you're going to have a 300 version of this. Now, we already went into this on the other video of whether or not this is a good thing or whether or not this is a bad thing. Ultimately, I think it's going to be a good thing because I think it can ultimately keep two-strokes around longer. I have my opinions. I am totally fine with a carburetor. I can make a carburetor run. And I think there's a ton of guys out there that want two-strokes to stay simple, and they want them to stay cheaper. So we know that this is going to increase the complexity on the bikes. There's more components that can fail. There's more electronics that can fail. But honestly, the EFI on the four-strokes, those have been very good. So I'm gonna be optimistic on that. But it will increase the cost of these bikes. We know that. The cost is going to go up. Whether or not the weight's going to go up, that remains to be seen, but the complexity is going to go up and the cost is going to go up. But if it makes it so that these bikes can still be sold in Europe and even green sticker in California, heaven forbid, so that you can ride these two-strokes in California, then that's a good thing. So getting a couple more fuel-injected two-strokes, this is kind of the way that things are moving. And I hope that we can still retain a carbureted version of these two-strokes so it can be simple and so it can be tunable in your garage. Don't want to start a big debate on that, but I'd like to see us having the option of having both, a carbureted version and the EFI version for those that want that. So getting some more options and changes there in the industry, and that's the latest of what's happening with EFI two-strokes here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hey guys, if you didn't already know, Patreon is the best way to support Dirt Bike Channel. We've got some really cool rewards over there, so click on the link up here that you see to become a patron. That'll take you directly to our site and you can check everything out. You can donate as little as $1 per month and it would really, really help us out. Thanks a ton, guys.